For the Washington and Lee Athletics Year in Review, I'm Jeremy Franklin. We start in the fall, which featured 4 teams that won ODAC Championships and a 5th that qualified for the NCAA tournament. Football closed the regular season on a 6-game winning streak to claim the ODAC title for the second time in 3 years. In the first round of the Division III playoffs, the Generals provided a challenge, especially on the defensive side, to 12-time national champion Mount Union, eventually falling 21-0 to the Purple Raiders to finish at 8-3 overall. First-year Josh Brees had a year for the record books, shattering the WNL single-season rushing mark and also setting a new conference standard with 1,825 yards and claiming ODAC Rookie of the Year laurels. WNL again ranked among the national leaders in rushing yardage, averaging 421.5 per game during the regular season to place second in Division III. Senior linebacker Max Garrett anchored the stop side, leading the league in tackles for the second straight season and picking up Conference Defensive Player of the Year and Scholar Athlete honors. Brees and Garrett were joined on the All-ODAC first team by offensive lineman Chris Ozier and Mitch Hornsby and cornerback Greg Reams, while Scott Abel received the Coach of the Year award for the 3rd time in his 6 seasons at the helm. Andrew Frailer, Mitch Lowry, David Hogan, Michael Shields, Colin Sherman, Sean Clark, and Philip Davis also received all-conference recognition. WNL claimed its second-ever ODAC championship in field hockey, defeating Lynchburg 2-1 in overtime in the conference title game at the WNL Turf Field. The Generals would make more history just days later by beating Denison 1-0 in OT, notching the program's first NCAA tournament win. WNL fell 3-2 to eventual national runner-up Messiah in the second round in Pennsylvania, finishing up at 15-5 overall. That record included a perfect 7-0 mark in ODAC regular season play and a grand total of 7 overtime victories. Junior Haley Tucker, who scored both of WNL's postseason OT winners, set a new school mark with 20 goals and was named the ODAC Player of the Year. She was joined on the all-conference first team by Maggie Sands, with both players receiving all-region honors, while Sands was also named to the roster for the NFHCA senior game. Lauren Paylano, Lily McDonald, and Ariel Yavalar also earned all ODAC citations, while Gina Wills was selected as the Conference Coach of the Year for the 2nd time. Men's soccer advanced to the NCAA round of 16 for just the 2nd time in program history and the 1st time since 2000. After falling 2-1 at Lynchburg in the ODAC championship game, the Generals received their 3rd straight Division III playoff bid, also earning hosting rights for 1st and 2nd round games at Watt Field. WNL beat Mary Washington 2-0 in the NCAA tournament opener and then advanced past Oglethorpe on penalties following a 3-3 draw in the 2nd round. The Generals traveled to Chicago for the sectional weekend, falling 3-0 to eventual national runner-up North Park in the Sweet 16 and finishing the year at 15-5-2 overall. Will Hemricka and Oliver Dolberg both earned all-region and first-team all-conference honors. Senior goalkeeper Gillen Beck picked up his 2nd straight ODAC Scholar Athlete Award, and Andrew Kim, Dylan Rich, and Harry Pinkerton also received all-conference laurels. Meanwhile, the coaching staff of Mike Singleton, John Freeman, Nemanja Sedic, and Austin Gilbert was tabbed by the United Soccer Coaches as the South Atlantic Regional Staff of the Year. The women's soccer team finished 10-6-1 overall and 7-3 in the ODAC, earning the 5th seed in the conference tournament and falling 2-1 at Bridgewater in the ODAC quarterfinals. The Generals recovered from a slow start to win 8 out of 9 games in late September and early October, including a last-gasp double overtime victory at Roanoke. Megan England followed up her 2016 Conference Player of the Year season by scoring a team-high 12 goals, which tied for 3rd in the ODAC, and she received all-conference honors alongside Caroline Coppinger, Emily Roche, and Kelsey Jervis. The men's cross-country team won the ODAC title for the 3rd consecutive season, placing 4 runners in the top 6 at the conference meet in Virginia Beach. WNL would go on to finish 4th at the NCAA Southeast Regional in Newport News, where Hank Patrick, Mackenzie Leroy, and Cooper Baird all qualified for the National Division III meet in the St. Louis suburbs. Competing at the national race for the 2nd time in his career, Leroy led the Generals by placing 134th in a field of the country's 279 best runners. Leroy, Patrick, Baird, and Austin Kinney all earned all-region and first-team all-conference honors, with Freddie Marks claiming a spot on the All-ODAC 2nd team, while Patrick was named the conference's top scholar athlete. Women's cross-country also won its 3rd straight ODAC championship, finishing 40 points ahead of runner-up Lynchburg in the conference race at Virginia Wesleyan. Kirsten McMichael came in 3rd overall at the ODAC meet, and she was joined on the all-conference first team by Julia Moody and Anna Nelson. Hannah Dieterle and Katie Harris also placed in the top 10 to round out the scoring for the Generals, claiming second-team All-ODAC spots alongside Katie Barra. WNL would place 5th at the Southeast Regional, where Moody and McMichael both finished in the top 35 individually to earn all-region accolades. And volleyball put together a 24-10 season that featured 2 heartbreaking losses to ODAC rival Randolph-Macon. The Generals fell twice in 5 nail-biting sets to the Yellow Jackets, including a conference final in Ashland where the 5th frame went to extras at 16-14. Junior outside hitter Meg Guion led the ODAC in kills en route to first-team All-Conference and All-Region honors, and she also became just the 9th player in program history to receive All-America accolades. Courtney Berry led the league in blocks and hitting percentage and was named ODAC Rookie of the Year, joining Guion on the All-Conference first team, while fellow first-year Bryn Gould received second-team honors. Now on to the winter, when 3 more teams won conference titles. Men's track and field won its 2nd consecutive ODAC Indoor Championship, slipping past Bridgewater at Roanoke's Kerr-Kreger Fieldhouse in Salem. In the penultimate event, the Generals took the 2nd through 5th spots in the 3,000 meters, and then the 4x400 relay team of Alexander Keynes, Carter Huffman, Micah Wilson, and Donovan Fiore placed first to secure the conference title. The Generals produced 4 other individual champions. Mackenzie Leroy won both the 800 meters and the mile. Dash Derricks claimed the title in the shot put, and Shep Sims finished first in the pole vault. Additionally, Drew Pranka broke his own school record in the 60-meter hurdles, notching one of 7 runner-up placements for WNL. Hank Patrick was named the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year, and Brandon Yule earned Coach of the Year honors. The women's track and field team placed 5th at the ODAC Indoor Meet. First-year Katie Harris won the 5,000 meters, while the distance medley relay team of Andy Cunningham, Catherine Fagan, Anna Nelson, and Julia Moody also took home the title. The Generals earned all ODAC honors by placing 3rd in 4 additional events. In individual competitions, 11 of WNL's 16 scoring placements at the conference meet came from first-years or sophomores. Wrestling put together another solid season, coming in 3rd at the Centennial Conference Championship at the Water Center, the Generals' highest ever finish since joining that league 2 decades ago. Zach Bilikbashi, Bryce Crew, Brandon LaFour, and Rex Halliburton all claimed runner-up spots at the conference meet. WNL would go on to place 7th at the Southeast Regional, where Bilikbashi won the 141-pound weight class and was named the tournament's most outstanding wrestler. The junior thus qualified for the NCAA championship for the 2nd time in his career. He would go 0-2 at the national meet in Cleveland. As a team, the Generals also finished 9-6 overall, marking the program's most dual meet wins since 1987. The women's basketball team went 17-10 overall, tying for 5th in the ODAC with a 9-7 league record. The Generals downed Holland 75-44 in the first round of the conference tournament, and then beat 4th-seeded Guilford 79-77 in the quarterfinals. WNL's run would end with a 64-60 loss to top seed Emory and Henry in the semifinals at the Salem Civic Center. Emily Perzik wrapped up her career with 1,340 points, good enough for 5th on the all-time scoring list, and she will also graduate as the program's best-ever free throw shooter at 83.5%. Perzik was named to the All-ODAC first team for the 2nd straight year. She also received the Conference's Scholar Athlete Award and became the first player in program history to be named a first-team academic All-American. Meanwhile, first-year Katie Popp finished in the top 10 in the ODAC in scoring and was tabbed as the league's Rookie of the Year. Men's basketball likewise finished with a 17-10 overall record, including an 11-5 ODAC mark that saw them tie for 2nd, the Generals' best conference finish in almost 30 years. In the ODAC tournament in Salem, WNL downed Guilford 81-63 in the quarterfinals before falling 82-72 to Roanoke in the semifinal round. Men's hoops also boasted one of the program's statistical leaders. Clayton Murtha will leave Lexington 3rd all-time with 1,845 points and 7th with 855 rebounds. After leading the ODAC with 18.7 points per game, Murtha received first-team All-Conference honors for the 3rd time in his career. He was also named first-team All-State and third-team All-Region, and he became the first General to play in the NABC Division III College All-Star Game. Murtha was joined on the All-ODAC first team by Devin Kearns, who surpassed the 1,000-point mark during his junior season and already ranks 7th all-time at WNL in assist. Senior Nicholas George received the ODAC Scholar Athlete Award and was also selected as a second-team academic All-American. Men's swimming claimed the ODAC title, going on to finish 13th at the NCAA Championship. At the Division III meet in Indianapolis, Tommy Thetford earned first-team All-America honors in the 50 freestyle and honorable mention laurels in the 100 free, while Patrick Sullivan produced an honorable mention performance in the 200 freestyle. Additionally, the team of Thetford, Sullivan, Corey Connolly, and Evan Kramer garnered honorable mention citations in the 200, 400, and 800 freestyle relay events. Thetford was selected as the ODAC Swimmer and Scholar Athlete of the Year, winning both awards for the second time in his career, while Sullivan received the Rookie of the Year trophy and Cammie Gardner was named Coach of the Year. Thetford and Sullivan were joined on the All-Conference First Team by Thomas Caldwell, Noah Shamble, Ben Brown, Ethan Fisher, Jared Nicodem, Danny Lynch, Fitz Rawls, and Jonathan Tucker. And the women's swimming team collected its 11th straight ODAC title and the program's 28th overall by winning 17 of the 18 events at the conference meet in Greensboro. W&L would then tie for 21st at the NCAA Championship. Emily Hedgeback garnered first-team All-America honors in the 200 breaststroke, also picking up an honorable mention citation in the 100 breaststroke, while Allie McQueen claimed honorable mention All-America laurels in the 100 butterfly. Meanwhile, Hedgeback and McQueen joined Kelly Amar, Elle Chansey, Caroline Florence, Cassidy Fuller, Tori Hester, and Ashley Johnston in leading W&L to All-America honors in 4 different relay events. Following the ODAC meet, Hedgeback was tabbed as the conference's top swimmer and scholar athlete. Maddie Grant won the Rookie of the Year award, and Gardner also received Coach of the Year honors. Hedgeback, Grant, Chansey, Johnston, and McQueen earned first-team All-ODAC designations alongside Jordan Watson, Catherine Degner, Taylor Eckelberry, and Hannah Freebert. Now on to the spring, which featured 4 conference titles and 6 teams that qualified for NCAA competition. Women's golf won the program's second ODAC championship, producing 5 of the top 6 golfers at the conference tournament in Greensboro, including a runner-up performance from first-year Hannah Jones. The Generals would go on to record a 16th place finish at the NCAA championship in Howey in the Hills, Florida. W&L spent most of the season in the national rankings, climbing as high as 10th going into the ODAC tournament. Jones was selected as the conference Rookie of the Year. She was joined on the All-ODAC first team by seniors Mary Frances Hall and Lisa Freed, while Pete Jessick was recognized as the co-ODAC Coach of the Year. Hall would also receive all East Region honors from the WGCA. The men's golf team placed second overall at the ODAC Championship, finishing as the runner-up to Guilford. Sean Paleo led the Generals with a 4th-place finish at the conference event. Ranked 14th in the nation, W&L was rewarded for a great season with an at-large berth to the Division III Championship, which begins today in Greensboro. Sophomore Brian Pesey was selected as the ODAC Player of the Year, and Luke Farley received the Conference Scholar Athlete Award for the second straight season. Pesey and Paleo both claimed first-team All-ODAC laurels. Women's tennis claimed its 16th consecutive ODAC crown, sweeping Virginia Wesleyan 5-0 in the title match in Virginia Beach. The Generals rolled past Franciscan 5-0 in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Fredericksburg, and then dropped a 5-4 nail-biter to host Mary Washington in the round of 32, closing out the year with a 19-8 overall record. Michelle Fleener was tabbed as the ODAC Player of the Year, and she was joined on the All-Conference First Team by Emily Cochard. Valerie Marshall won the ODAC Rookie of the Year award, and Erin Ness was honored as the league's top coach. Additionally, Fleener was selected to compete in the NCAA Singles Championship, which takes place next week in Claremont, California. Men's tennis won the program's 37th ODAC championship, including its 9th in a row, defeating Hampton-Sydney 5-1 in the conference final at Virginia Wesleyan. Down in Atlanta this weekend, the Generals bested Thomas More 5-0 in the first round of the NCAA tournament before falling 5-1 to host and second-ranked Emory in the second round, wrapping up the year at 13-7. Sophomore Harry Shepard was selected as the ODAC Player of the Year, and he was joined on the All-Conference First Team by Zach Healy, Thomas Harmon, and March Zhang. Shepard also received a bid to the 32-player singles field for the NCAA Individual Championship in California. Baseball endured an injury-plagued campaign to finish 14-23 overall and 6-14 in the ODAC. A tough season didn't come without some highlights, though, including a victory over top-ranked Cortland at Captain Dick Smith Field in February. Junior relief pitcher Danny Devereaux, who already owned the W&L record for saves, tied the program mark for career appearances with his 57th outing for the Blue and White. The riding team produced a 4th-place showing at the ODAC Championship in Amherst at the end of March. Senior Jane Chiavelli earned all-conference honors for the 4th time in her career, and she was joined on the All-ODAC team by Charlotte Radcliffe. The Generals also placed first at the Hollins W&L Invitational in February, and at the IHSA Regionals in Charlottesville in March, Lauren Fredericks won the walk-trot competition, qualifying for zone finals. Women's track and field placed 5th at the ODAC Outdoor Championship at Bridgewater. Samantha Yates paced the Generals by winning the 5,000 meters for the 3rd time in as many seasons. W&L also had 3 other All-ODAC performances. Kirsten McMichael finished as the runner-up in the 10,000 meters. Nikki Doherty came in 3rd in the 100-meter hurdles, and Kaylee Hinton placed 3rd in the 400-meter hurdles. In men's track and field, the W&L program's string of 5 straight conference championships came to an end with a runner-up finish behind Bridgewater at the ODAC Outdoor Meet. The Generals still had some great performances. Dash Derricks was named the field athlete of the meet after winning the discus and the javelin and placing third in the shot put. Mackenzie Leroy won both the 1,500 and 5,000 meter races to earn co-track athlete of the meet honors, and Hank Patrick was selected as the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Additionally, Shep Sims won the pole vault, and the 4x400 relay team of Alexander Keynes, Micah Wilson, Carter Huffman, and Donovan Fiore also came in first. Drew Pranka broke the school record in the 400-meter hurdles to place second overall, one of 4 runner-up finishes for the Generals during the meet. The women's lacrosse team finished 16-5 overall, earning the school's 9th consecutive ODAC title with a 14-7 victory over Randolph-Macon in the conference championship game in Lexington. In the first round of the NCAA tournament, the Generals tied a school record for goals in a game by routing Cabrini 27-7. W&L's season would come to an end on Sunday with a 10-3 road loss to 8th-ranked York in the second round. Jess Castello, who concludes her career 6th all-time in program history with 126 goals and tied for 8th with 176 total points, was selected as the ODAC Offensive Player of the Year, and she was joined on the All-Conference First Team by Cordelia Peters, Danny Murray, and Riley Garcia. Brooke O'Brien earned ODAC Coach of the Year honors for the 6th time in her 11 seasons with the program. And men's lacrosse capped off a 15-5 campaign with an appearance in the third round of the NCAA tournament. The Generals closed out the regular season with 14 consecutive victories, tied for the second longest streak in program history. W&L won the ODAC regular season title. While the Generals would fall to Lynchburg in the semifinals of the conference tournament, the team received a well-deserved at-large bid to the Division III playoffs. W&L breezed by Transylvania 23-5 in the second round of the tournament last Wednesday before losing a 10-9 overtime heartbreaker at Dickinson in the round of 16 on Saturday. A.J. Witherell broke his own single-season scoring record with 91 points and was named Conference Player of the Year for the second straight spring. The junior attackman was joined on the All-ODAC first team by Kyle Gifford, Jack Hodgson, and Hudson Hamill. For the Washington and Lee Athletics Year in Review, I'm Jeremy Franklin.